Imagine a night where the desert sky fractures, a star tears through the heavens, and the earth trembles with a secret older than time itself. You're no longer just a listener. You're a traveler stepping into the heart of Shiprock, where the winds whisper prophecies and the sands hold echoes of a future yet to come. This is no ordinary tale. It's a journey through the cosmos and the Wild West, where a young Navajo stargazer, Ta'a'i, stands at the edge of destiny, her fate intertwined with a celestial pact. Prepare to witness a saga of courage, sacrifice, and the unraveling of time itself as she battles forces that threaten to rewrite her people's story. The air crackles with mystery. Will you dare to follow her into this uncharted frontier? Press that subscribe button, let the fire of curiosity blaze, and plunge into the timeless saga of Shiprock. The adventure begins now. In the year 1905, the sacred monolith of Shiprock stood as a sentinel over the Navajo lands, its jagged peak piercing a sky that pulsed with ancient secrets. The red stone walls, etched with petroglyphs of stars, serpents, and spirits, glowed faintly under the sun, a testament to the Diné's eternal connection to the cosmos. The desert stretched wide below, its golden sands shimmering with a restless energy, the air thick with the scent of sage and the promise of something extraordinary. Nestled at the monolith's base, a small village thrived among junipers, its hogans blending into the earth, their rounded roofs adorned with subtle geometric patterns of zigzags and diamonds. Here lived Ta'a'i, a woman of 26 summers, her eyes alight with the wisdom of the stars, her hands weaving the night sky into her crafts. The village was a heartbeat of tradition, its people bound by the rhythms of their ancestors. Women ground corn with metats, their chants a prayer to the earth, while men guided horses across the dunes, their laughter a melody of resilience. Children danced among the cottonwoods, their voices a fragile song in a land teetering on the edge of change. Ta'a'i's family dwelled in a hogan near the village center, where her father, Ya'ate, carved star maps into wood, his hands steady yet shadowed by worry. Her mother, Talai, spun wool with a grace that belied her concern, her songs a thread of hope. Ta'i's younger brother, Na'atani, a warrior of 18 summers, honed his spear by the fire, his silence a shield against an unseen threat. The night sky had always been Ta'a'i's guide, her grandmother's tales of the holy people and the Starborn spirit, a celestial guardian whose light wove the Diné's destiny, filling her with wonder. The stars are our ancestors' voices, Hojo'i, her grandmother would say, her silver hair aglow by the fire, her voice a river of wisdom. But their power shifts with time. Guard it well. Ta'i listened, her hands tracing star patterns on her loom, her father's maps a map to her soul. For weeks, a shadow had crept over the village, a strange illness, its symptoms a fevered dance of visions and weakness, unlike any plague known to the Diné. The sick lay in hogans, their breaths shallow, their eyes reflecting falling stars, while the healthy tended them with trembling hands. The elders chanted prayers, their voices rising against the wind, but the illness deepened, its toll a silent cry in the night. Ya'ate sat by the fire, his star map unfinished, his face etched with despair. Talai rationed herbs, her songs fading, while Na'atani sharpened his spear, his warrior's instincts urging a fight against the unknown. One fateful night, as the village shared a meager meal of corn and dried meat, Ta'a'i gazed at the sky, the stars a canvas of unease. Na'atani joined her, his voice low. "The land feels wrong, sister," he said, his eyes fierce. "Something's coming." As the fire dwindled to embers, a streak of light blazed across the heavens, a falling star, its brilliance illuminating Shiprock, followed by a thunderous crash that shook the earth. Ta'a'i felt a surge, the spirit stirring, and she knew this was no ordinary omen. A destiny was calling, one that would test the very fabric of time. The falling star's crash echoed in Ta'a'i's heart, a summons that drew her from her hogan at dawn. She climbed the dunes toward Shiprock, the monolith's red walls glowing with an otherworldly hue, the petroglyphs of stars pulsing faintly in the morning light. The village below was hushed, the air heavy with the scent of dust, and the 6 labored breaths, a pallor hanging over the land. Ta clutched her star-patterned blanket, her eyes tracing the sky, and whispered a prayer to the holy people seeking guidance. The wind carried a strange hum, and as she crested a dune, a crater lay before her, its center cradling a fragment of glowing stone, its light a rhythm of the cosmos. As she neared, the stone flared, and from its glow emerged a figure, a being of metal and light, its form a fusion of human grace and mechanical precision, its eyes a soft blue luminescence. This was Elara, a traveler from a future beyond imagination, her voice a melodic hum that resonated with the stars. "I am Elara," she said, her words carrying the weight of centuries. "That stone is a key to time, torn from my era by those who seek to unravel your past. The Starborn spirit sent me to aid you, Ta'a'i. We must stop the Time Raiders." Ta'a'i's breath caught, her grandmother's tales of celestial guardians flooding her mind, but she saw the sick, the despair in her family's eyes, and felt the pull of destiny. "I'll join you," she said, her voice firm, the blanket a tether to her roots. Elara nodded, the stone's light softening, and they turned toward the village, the hum of time a mystery unfolding. Ta'a'i returned home, her resolve steeled. She found Hozho'ui in his hogan, carving a star into cedar, his grandfather's gaze piercing with ancient wisdom. "A star fell, and a traveler appeared," she said, her voice trembling with purpose. "The stone holds time, and I must safeguard our past." Hozho'ui's hand stilled, his eyes distant. "The Starborn spirit has chosen you," he said, his voice a whisper of reverence. "Time is a sacred thread. Take my blessing." He offered a pouch of star-shaped seeds, a sacred offering, and a woven cord with constellation patterns, tying it around her wrist. "This will anchor you to our story," he said, his tone solemn. She sought Na'atani, who tended the horses with Ya'ate, his hands steady despite the worry in his eyes. "I'm coming with you," Na'atani declared, his spear gleaming with resolve. Ta'i nodded, her brother's strength a rock. Ya'ate placed a hand on her shoulder, his carved saddle a melody of faith. "Protect our legacy, daughter," he said, his eyes bright. Ta'ala'i pressed a star pendant into her palm, her voice a tremulous whisper. "Return to us," she pleaded, tears glistening. As they prepared, Elara approached, her metallic form glinting, her voice a hum of determination. "The raiders are near," she warned. Ta'ai felt the spirit's approval in a distant eagle's cry, a fragile alliance born of a cosmic pact. The quartet set out under a blazing sun. Starborn spirits promise a guide in Ta'ai's soul, Shiprock a timeless sentinel. Ta'i led with her blanket fluttering, Na'atani beside her, his spear ready, and Elara behind, her steps a rhythm of the future. The desert unfolded, a sea of dunes warped by time, the horizon hiding the raiders, a threat that would test Ta'ai's destiny and the Dine's eternal legacy. The desert sands shimmered with an eerie luminescence as Ta'a'i, Na'ata'ani, and Elara ventured deeper toward Shiprock, the monolith's red walls casting distorted shadows across the dunes. The air thrummed with a temporal dissonance, the petroglyphs of stars glowing with an unnatural intensity, a sign of the rift tearing at the fabric of time. Elara's metallic form pulsed with energy, her blue eyes scanning the horizon, her voice a hum of urgency. "The raiders are harnessing the stone's power," she said. "We must confront them at the source." Ta'a'i felt the stone's pulse in her pouch. Starborn spirits cry a celestial melody, guiding them through the chaos of ages. They reached a hidden canyon, its walls etched with petroglyphs, stars aligned with serpents, a celestial map to the raiders' lair. Na'atani's warrior instincts sharpened, his spear a steady hand, while Elara's sensors detected temporal anomalies, her futuristic presence a stark contrast to the Wild West. "The rift is near," Ta'a'i whispered, the cord at her wrist glowing faintly, but as they rounded a bend, a vortex of light and sand erupted. A time rift, its edges crackling with energy, pulling at the threads of history. From the rift stepped a band of Wild West time raiders led by Voss, their attire a fusion of 1900s ruggedness and futuristic armor, their rifles humming with advanced tech. "The stone is ours to command!" Voss bellowed, his voice amplified by a metallic edge, his men fanning out, their weapons trained on the trio. "Surrender it, or your past vanishes!" Ta'a'i's heart raced, the stars hum a warning, but she stood tall, her blanket a shield. "This stone belongs to the Diné," she declared, her voice cutting through the storm. "It will guard our future." The canyon exploded into chaos, bullets and energy blasts ricocheting off the cliffs, the petroglyphs trembling as if the spirits waged war. Ta'a'i fought with a staff carved with stars, her movements a dance of defiance, while Na'atani's spear flashed, his warrior's stance a bulwark. Elara unleashed a beam of light from her arm, her strength a marvel of the future, but the rift widened, its pull threatening to erase the Diné's songs, their struggles, their very existence. Ta'a'i darted toward a crevice, the petroglyphs guiding her, and found a hidden cache, tools and shifting maps left by the raiders, a blueprint to their temporal assault. As Voss seized her arm, his rifle pressed to her chest, Na'atani lunged, his spear striking true, while Elara's beam dazzled the raiders. I grabbed a map, its lines warping with time, and the canyon quaked, the rift groaning as if the earth resisted its unraveling. The raiders retreated, their shouts swallowed by the wind, the map's light a fragile hope, but the battle was incomplete, the rift still a wound on time, demanding a sacrifice to heal the ages. The map's light flickered in Ta'a'i's hands as she, Na'atani, and Elara emerged from the canyon, the cliff's red faces glowing under the afternoon sun, the petroglyphs of stars a silent plea. The valley stretched before them, its dunes scarred by the raiders' greed. The village's coughs a distant lament. The time rift a burden on Ta'a'i's soul. Elara's sensors whirred, her voice a hum of resolve. "The rift's core is at Shiprock," she said. "The stone can seal it, but its power will be lost forever." Ta'i felt the stone's warmth, starborn spirits cry a celestial guide. But the choice loomed, a chance to rewrite the long walk, to erase the pain, or a sacrifice to preserve the Diné's unyielding spirit. They returned to the village, the stone a beacon in Ta'i's pouch, the air thick with the scent of dust and desperation. The elders gathered at a sacred clearing near Shiprock, where petroglyphs of stars glowed on the monolith, their light a symbol of eternity, the ground etched with constellations that pulsed with energy. Ta'i stood at the center, the stone raised, and chanted a prayer to the holy people, a song of destiny, of balance, of the Diné's bond with the cosmos. Nayataani guarded her, his spear a shield, while Ilara calibrated the rift, her metallic form a conduit of time. Whispers of dissent stirred among the villagers, their faces gaunt from the illness, their voices a murmur of fear. "The stone could save our past," an elder rasped, his cough a shadow. "Why cast it away?" Ta'ai's heart wavered, the stone's power a temptation to undo the long walk's scars, to spare her people suffering. Nayataani's hand steadied hers, his warrior's voice a whisper. "Our scars are our strength," he said, his eyes fierce. Ilara's blue gaze softened. "The future honors the past's resilience," she said. "Sacrifice is the Pact's heart." Ta'ai raised the stone higher, its light blazing, and felt Starborn's spirit's presence, its cry a thunder in her soul. She understood. The stone's power could alter time, but it would erase the Diné's songs of survival, their legacy of endurance. With a trembling resolve, she placed the stone on the ground, its light dimming as she chanted a song of release, a surrender to destiny. The earth quaked, the monolith groaning, and a rift of light opened, revealing the raiders' camp, their machines whirring to unravel history. Voss lunged from the rift, his rifle gleaming, his voice a snarl. "You've doomed yourself," he shouted, firing. Tai shielded the stone, the bullet grazing her shoulder, her cry a blend of pain and purpose. Na'atani and Ilara fought back, their strength a fire, but the rift widened, the past fraying at the edges. Tai's blood dripped onto the stone, its light exploding in a cascade of stars, sealing the rift, banishing the raiders, and collapsing their camp, the monolith standing resolute, a guardian of time restored. The rift's light faded as Ta'ai collapsed in the clearing, her shoulder bleeding, the stone's glow extinguished, its sacrifice a pulse in the earth. The monolith's petroglyphs shone with renewed vigor, their stars a constellation of hope, the air filled with the scent of sage and rebirth, a promise of a healed timeline. Na'atani cradled her, his spear a forgotten shield, his warrior's tears falling, while Ilara's hands, surprisingly gentle, bound her wound, her metallic form a bridge to a future now secure. The Starborn spirit materialized, its form a cascade of starlight, its voice a melody of gratitude. "You've preserved the Diné's destiny," it said, its light enveloping the village in a warm embrace. The illness vanished, the sick rose with clear eyes, the fields bloomed with corn and wildflowers, a miracle woven from sacrifice. The villagers gathered, their faces a tapestry of awe and joy, the hogans standing strong, the horses prancing in the dawn. Ya'atie ran to Ta'ai, his saddle a gift as he pulled his daughter into a fierce hug. "You've given us eternity," he said, his voice thick with pride. Ta'ai wove her a new blanket, its threads patterned with stars and constellations draping it over her shoulders. "For your vision," she said, her eyes shining. Na'atani held her hand, his spear laid aside, his warrior's smile a promise of healing. "For our legacy," he said, his voice steady. Ilara stood apart, her metallic form softened by the firelight, her redemption a bond with the Diné, her future now intertwined with theirs. The village held a ceremony, the fire blazing high, its flames dancing under the stars, the drums beating a rhythm of renewal. Hojhaui led the chant, his voice a river of wisdom, a song of thanks to the holy people, to Starborn's spirit, to the land that held their timeless destiny. Ta'ai stood with her people, shiprock a silent guardian, its petroglyphs a testament to their survival. She felt the spirit's whispers, the eagle's cry a soft echo, and knew the Diné would thrive, their resilience a light in the eternal sky, their destiny a legacy for all time. Years later, Ta'ai stood at Shiprock's base, her children at her side, their eyes wide with wonder under a sky ablaze with stars. She held a star-shaped pendant, forged by Alara from the stone's remnants, a memory of the Pact's sacrifice, and told them the story of the Starborn Pact, of destiny, time, and the courage that wove their future. "The stars are our guide," she said, pointing to the heavens, "and we must honor their light." Na'atani joined them, a warrior healed, his spear a symbol of family, and Alara, now a guardian of the Dene, stood nearby, her tales of the Pact echoing across eras. On quiet nights, Ta'ai would hear the Starborn spirits hum a gentle pulse of peace, and look up to see a falling star streak across the sky, its light a beacon over Shiprock, a guardian of the Dine's eternal legacy. And that, friends, is the Starborn Pact. I hope Ta'ai's journey lit a spark in your heart. If it did, leave a comment. Would you change the past to save the future? Subscribe to Tales of the Untamed West for more Navajo folk tales and Wild West legends, and explore our Untamed Tales playlist. Until next time, keep the fire burning, and may the spirits guide your path.